Hi, welcome to our Zoom meeting. I'm Angie.
And I'm Doreen.
And, and on with us is Amanda. She's, yeah.
We found the link and
Yes.
she's on with us. So, well, we're going to talk about triggers and trigger foods today. I know that every one of us have a trigger. We probably all have different triggers, but it's something that kind of gets in your way unless you think through it. And one of the things that we like to emphasize is that we need to create a healthy environment. And usually the first thing is to eliminate those triggers. Go through your cupboards, through your refrigerator, just get rid of those foods that are trigger foods for you. And that's sometimes all you need, possibly. We don't know.
Right. And some of us, like with young children, it's impossible to really completely eliminate the trigger foods from your cupboard. So, hi, Elmo.
Hi.
So if you can't eliminate them, something I did when I first started my weight loss journey was I covered them up with a red cloth. Like I hid them and I said, I just kind of teased about it with my kids and said, these cookies, I can hear them and their screams aren't so loud if they're covered with a red cloth or with a hand towel. It just was a signal to me that those weren't for me and they were for the kids. And if they were hidden, I always kept them in a different room. I started using a different cupboard for the food for the kids. So I just switched it up a little bit. And so in my main traffic area where I've always looked for food are only my healthy foods now. And I cleaned out a cupboard that was down kind of out of the way that wasn't part of my usual routine. And that's where I put the foods that the kids maybe like the sweet cereals or anything that I might be liable to get into. Or my husband, I've really had to get things out of his path.
Yeah.
And we just, switched it. Now I'm the one who brought it home, so I know they're there. So if it's something I really love, I don't bring it home. I buy stuff for them that maybe I wouldn't be my favorite thing. But then I think moving it out of your usual traffic path is a good thing. Or if you have some kind of baked good, cover it up. So it's just when you see that, or I've even written notes to myself, remember this isn't for you. Remember your goals or whatever. And even though I wrote it when I was stronger than maybe when I'm going to take one.
Yeah.
So it's good for me to read that. But I just wanted to say that sometimes you do have things in your home. If you can clean up the cupboard, that's best. But sometimes there's still things in the home.
So we need to create an environment, a healthy environment that is aligned with our goals. So obviously that is to take away those foods that tempt us. And that should help a little bit. But we also talk about triggers being events or possible situations that you could have. One of the things that we also suggest is to plan ahead. And obviously on our wall, people have mentioned that they've planned ahead or they wish they had planned on over the weekend, those kinds of things. So whenever you're going out to eat at someone's home or at a tailgate or at a restaurant, kind of think through what it might be like and plan. You can look at menus for restaurants online and kind of get an idea of what you're going to order before you get there. And when you go to someone's house, you can offer to bring something, and that something would be something healthy, something that you can eat while you're there so you don't feel, out of place. So those are some ideas.
Those are great. And I think really identifying your situation triggers. And I think sitting down and thinking, what time of day am I most likely to get derailed? Do I have an awesome morning and a really good lunch and then the afternoon gets me? Or is it, just supper time? I know that when I sat down and really thought about it, my supper time would throw me off because my son is very nice and he doesn't eat all of his food and he doesn't mind sharing. So I would maybe put something healthy on my plate, but he wouldn't eat all of his and he would either offer it to me or he wouldn't slap my hand, or my daughter would not have any patience for that. She doesn't want my fingers on her plate. So I can sit by her at a restaurant. I cannot sit by my son because he'll share with me and I would maybe share with him. So I think, really thinking about what those things are for you, whether it's unloading the groceries or, a concession stand, does that throw you off? Don't bring it, then just don't ever go up to the concession stand. Make sure that when you go to some kind of event, your bag is packed. But I think before you even can pre-plan, you have to identify those situations and figure out, because they're probably all different for all of us. I know people that, said just going to the grocery store. We can't avoid going to the grocery store, but maybe, you can go full, or you can have a healthy snack to eat, or a new routine. If you used to taste things that you brought home from the grocery store as you unpacked, make a new routine. I know I started listening to healthy calls, listen to nurse and doctor calls, and do something different than, eating the things that I unpacked, because I used to eat a lot of calories while I unpacked the groceries. So I think identifying those situations is a really good thing.
That's a good thing. Yes, and eliminate those trigger times if you can.
Yes.
I just thought of something. What did I think of?
I'm gonna mute it because I think they might bark some more.
It
well,
just left me.
Well, I would like everyone, since we're all posting every day on the challenge, I would love for people to start posting maybe their trigger situations and their trigger foods, like whether it's nuts or popcorn or chips or sweets, what they are, and then what you're doing to avoid it. You act like maybe I mentioned one of your trigger foods. But I think, let's really look at ourselves and really pinpoint the trigger foods and the trigger situations that might throw you off, and then come up with an action plan. What can you do to get ahead of those things? And if it's, I love to bake. So for a while, I just had to run out of flour and sugar. There's not a whole lot you can make without flour and sugar.
True.
And so if I just didn't bring it home, I couldn't bake anything. And I was much better off, and I've had to take a whole month off from baking, and then I am right back on my healthy way. So I think you have to really look at yourself and figure out what your weaknesses are, and then make an action plan. And if you need to talk to one of the coaches, we would love to do that. So those are the posts I'd like to see this week, or some triggers and some action plans.
Good idea.
Does that sound good?
I like that idea.
All right. And we'd love to know what you would like a topic to be for the future. So if there's some things you'd like us to address, our challenge is getting away from us quickly. It's going to be over before we know it, and we'd like to address those things before the challenge is over. So if there's anything that people would like to hear us talk about, let us know on the challenge wall, or message us personally. So do you have any questions, Amanda, since you're the only one here on the hot spot?
No, I think I'm good.
You don't want to admit all
Who
your
is that?
foods and trigger situations.
Oh,
Your kids.
Tyler, shh.
who is? Mom, look, I'm in my dad's phone. I'm in the rock.
Hi, Tyler. Okay, well, I think that we are just going to say good night for now, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Thanks for coming, Amanda.
Bye.